loves, welcome to episode 109 of C3 Crystals, Cauldrons, and Cocktails. I'm River.
And I'm Ren.
And today we're going to talk about black cat magic and bad luck. But I need to mention it's Ren's turn to be sick now. So
Yes.
her voice is a little scratchy.
If you believe it or not, this is 10 times better than what it was like 2 days ago.
Yeah, we were supposed to podcast a couple days ago. And, I called her and she's like, I don't think I can do it. And I'm like, oh my God.
My husband said, he's like, it sounds like you've been smoking a pack a day since you were like 12. And I was like, yeah, I know. It's awful.
Yeah, she sounds much, much better. So
much better. Yes. And it wasn't COVID or anything. It was just like it was just a small cold. That's what my doctor said. I was tested for literally
cold.
everything. I was tested for strep because it started out with like a sore throat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was tested for strep, the flu, COVID, everything. Everything came back negative. And she kind of just like brushed it off. She was like, oh, it's just a cold. It's fine. Just take some Tylenol for your like sore throat and you'll be fine. 3 days later, it moves from my from a sore throat to sinus problems. And then it went all into my chest and then I had no voice. Like it literally happened like overnight when I didn't have a voice. Like I had a voice and then it started going downhill and I was like, man, like my voice is like getting really bad and I can't breathe. Mm-hmm. And then that night I just didn't have a voice. I was with you that night.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We were celebrating my birthday.
Yes, we celebrated her birthday. She wanted to go do haunted things. So we did. It was fun. We
went and did like a little haunted thing and it was a lot of fun. But the beginning of the day, I had a voice. The end of that night, I had no voice.
Well, I screamed a lot, so I was a little raspy myself. Yeah. Did you scream at all?
No, I mean, there at the beginning, I jumped and I don't scream. I do this like manly, like, that's what I do. And I did that so hard that I think it like sent my body into like oh, okay, so she's sick. And then now she's scratching her voice. So it just like kind of like, it was like, I'm not going to give you a voice. So it like took my voice away. And then it's just been very raspy. It's been going in and out of, oh, I think I sound like myself. And then I sound like a smoker every day, like that. It's just been going in and out. So,
I mean, I'm still not fully recovered from COVID. I still have a cough. I still have headaches. My chest still hurts. It's just one of those things that's lingering on.
Season. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not COVID anymore, obviously.
It's just like the lingering effects. And I think that's what I'm having now. Cause I mean, I wasn't even contagious. Like my husband never got anything. I went and saw my parents. They didn't get anything. Yeah. I'm not contagious. It's just all with it's like a sinus infection type of vibe and
That's what I ended up on antibiotics. I had 2 rounds of antibiotics because my sinus infection was
That's what I thought
nasty.
I was going to be put on. I thought I was going to be put on something. She's like, no, take some Tylenol. And I was like, no, Tylenol is going to help. And I'm
if your
gluten-free.
Sinuses don't get better, then you need to go back. Oh, is Tylenol gluten?
Better. No. But I can't have normal cough and cold like NyQuil. I can't have NyQuil or Dayquil.
NyQuil has gluten?
Yeah, your like medications aren't required in some states to disclose if it contains certain things.
Wow.
And gluten is one of those things in medicines. And I found this out like a little bit ago. I guess it has to be within the time I was diagnosed. And I was taking Dayquil and NyQuil like round the clock because I was sick and it was like a cold. And I was having terrible problems, with my gut. And finally Googled it, and NyQuil is a like non-disclosed like product.
Interesting.
So I can't have a lot of stuff like that. So I didn't have I've been around the clock on Robitussin, and oh man, I ran out of Robitussin the other day, and I have NyQuil, and I was like, I was debating
weighing the pros and cons, upset stomach versus coughing, not feeling well.
I've been having a wonderful time these past couple of days.
Sounds like it. We've got some friends who are having issues. I just heard back from them. They're trying to get married today.
Yeah.
And
I've been hearing about this.
They drove all the way down to Savannah to get married. They're eloping. and apparently had an appointment for 2 o'clock to get married in like Lafayette Square, something like that. I don't know. None of her friends are invited right now. So it's just an elopement. Obviously, you
It's
don't have
just them. Yeah. It's
friends
something
when you
small.
elope. But she texted me and she's like, so remember how we're supposed to be getting married at 2 o'clock today? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, well, they booked us for the wrong day. So, but I just heard back from her and they're going to marry them today at 3 o'clock. So,
oh, that's great.
So hopefully, fingers crossed that that happens. But man,
the amount of pure panic and stress in that one moment when you're told that it's wrong and you're like, what's gonna happen? And like your brain scatters and goes everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, they drove like, I don't know, it's 4 hours from their house, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
To go and do this, to be told, oh, by the way, sorry. But apparently she said they apologized. So see, and I'll tell her, this is what happens when you elope. You should have had a big formal wedding.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, I think both of them with their parents were like, no, we're not going down that path. We're going to go and just elope.
It's so simple to just have something small or elope or whatever. So, yeah.
Oh, how funny. Man. But anyway, so I just heard, I had to let you know because before we started recording, that was the latest thing. Oh my gosh.
But it's kind of funny with that happens. And then our topic today.
Yes, black cats and bad luck.
Bad luck.
There's been a stream of that.
Yes, there has been.
Before we get into all of that fun stuff, we have to say what we're drinking. So we decided, since we're talking about black cats, it would be appropriate to make a black cocktail. So we are using black vodka, and we call this drink the Black Cat. That's very appropriate. So it is equal parts of black vodka and fig vodka, which I like, but I think we could swap it out with different vodka flavors. But for today, we tried the fig one, and cream de cassis, which is a tart like black currant liqueur, and then dry vermouth, which is kind of floral and it smooths out that tartness. I love vermouth, like in my vodka tonics. I always put a splash of vermouth because it makes it smoother somehow, and it's delicious. And then you garnish it with fig slices or whatever flavor of vodka that you're also using.
Yes, I would say.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I have a did you know
about
vodka, that how do they make black vodka? It's actually regular vodka that they filter through charcoal to give it its black flavor.
That's actually really cool.
The black color. Yeah. Because I figured it was just, dye.
Yeah.
So they just dyed it.
Yeah.
But it's actually, they filter it through charcoal.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Is that more natural than dye, or is it?
Well, I mean, I was thinking, you could put black food coloring in your own vodka and make your own black drinks. But when I've done black food coloring and frostings and things, it turns your teeth black.
Yeah, it does.
So I don't know how it would work. I haven't tried it in vodka. I always just buy the black vodka.
You just buy the black vodka. Yeah.
So anyway.
I was just going to say that my drink today is a little light, henceforth, because my throat and everything.
You're sick. Yeah.
Like a small, basically little tiny, to get a taste of what the drink tastes like and what we've created. But I have a big tea on the side, like iced tea to my throat.
It's probably best not to be drinking alcohol with medicines and all that stuff anyway.
Yeah, no.
All right. So black cats.
Black cat magic. Okay, but what is it? What is black cat magic? Well, the term black cat magic refers to the practice of utilizing the symbols and energy and association of black cats in various forms of magical and spiritual practices. So this could be included in ritual, spell work, divination, meditation, or other metaphysical activities. Just like other forms of magic, we always involve using symbols, animals, natural elements. Black cat magic involves harnessing the unique qualities attributed to black cats for specific intentions or outcomes.
Yeah. And did you know that there are more black cats than any other color of cat? I didn't know that. And the reason why is because the gene that makes a cat's fur black is a dominant gene for felines.
That's cool. I mean, for me, I feel like you don't really see solid black cats all the time.
No.
Now you have cats that have
black
maybe they're majority black and then they have spots and speckles.
Mm-hmm. Like
But
our cat's a tuxedo cat, so he's black and white.
There's a tuxedo cat that runs outside of my apartment building, and it looks homeless, I think.
Aww.
But I've put out food and water for it sometimes. I think it's a girl because I guess I don't know. It'll stand outside, and when the cats, like the women cats, go into heat, they have like that low meow. And I think that's what she was going through.
Oh gosh, I hope she's not going to be having tons and tons of babies.
I mean, we don't really have very stray cats in our area as much. So I'm thinking that she may not be stray, like she's just an outdoor cat of someone that lives in the apartment buildings, but that's just
well, hopefully they fixed her.
I don't know.
I mean, because I think they still have the symptoms of going into heat, even if they're fixed. It's just hormonal. Just like a woman who is sterile still has her periods. It's the same thing. It's still the hormones still go.
I think it depends on when they get fixed.
Oh.
Because our cat, we rescued her from a shelter, and she got fixed when they even said way too young. She wasn't even like 2 months old. Like it was like she was young. Like we got her when she was, maybe it was 3 months. And that's way too young. And so she didn't even have those types of hormones in her body since they took them out.
That's interesting.
She hasn't gone through anything like that, to where she acts like that or anything. Like,
how old is she now?
1.5 years now.
Okay.
So
she's very cute.
She's adorable. She's not black, though. She's not a black cat.
Nope.
But I would say she's a little demon. She has her moods, I suppose. And I'm definitely not her favorite either.
Oh, really? Cats are weird though, because even the people that they love dearly, they act that way with. So it's hard to say. You could very well be her favorite.
That's true. I love this. I love our cat. She's cute. Anyways.
Okay.
So since we're also talking about black cats, they also are seen with bad luck. And I mean, if you think about it, you're like, oh, if you have a black cat run across your like path, you're going to have bad luck, just the same as if you walk underneath a ladder. But black cats have been surrounded by these various folklore superstitions throughout history. I feel like it's even kind of like embedded in some cultures that
for sure,
black cats are bad luck. So in many cultures, black cats are considered symbols of good luck and bad luck.
Okay.
So in some parts of Europe, encountering a black cat crossing your path is believed to be bad luck. But in Japanese folklore, a cat is considered a protective charm and symbol of good fortune.
Interesting.
And then black cats also have been associated, with witchcraft and magic. And I would say that they are good luck. I would say I love cats and animals, and they are mostly seen as like a familiar to us.
I was going to say
mostly because of like Sabrina, the Teenage Witch show and all of that. And Salem was solid black cat.
I think cats in general are the number one familiars for witches. Not always, but they are, I think, the most common, and black cats in particular, I would say.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you'll see TikToks and stuff on social media of like solid black cats, but like if that's like a dominant gene, where are all the black cats? And
that's what I was surprised when I read that.
Yeah, but did you know that solid black cats are discarded as kittens first because they're seen as, this bad luck thing.
Especially around Samhain and Halloween.
Yes.
It's so sad.
Yeah, because people will buy the cats and kittens or adopt them or whatever it may be for this time, Halloween and October and all of that. And then they're discarded.
That's
because
awful.
they don't want them anymore. I know. I could never imagine. I know.
Yeah.
But it was medieval Europe where witches were seen with the familiars of the black cats. And, and it would be or it would even be witches in disguise themselves.
I had heard that too, that witches are supposed to be able to shape shift into black cats.
Yeah. And so with that connotation with witches and witchcraft, this association led to the belief that black cats were evil or connected to dark forces, which is dumb.
It is dumb. Yeah. And did you know that written records, wow, say that 10 times fast. Written records link black cats to the occult as far back as the 13th century, when an official church document came out. It was called the Vox in Rama, and it was issued by Pope Gregory IX on June 13th, 1233. And in it, black cats were declared as an incarnation of Satan. And that marked the beginning of the Inquisition and the church sanctioned witch hunts, that kind of thing, which I saw a movie. I can't remember what movie it was, where the theory is that the Inquisition and the witch hunts came about because a demon possessed one of the churchgoers, one of the church people, personnel.
Like
not the Pope, but possessed one of the priests.
High people. Yeah.
And it was the devil's work that led to the Inquisition and the witch hunts and all that. I thought that was an interesting take. Yeah.
But okay, because cats, I mean, even now, like in modern days, we have like domesticated cats, like they're pets, they're loved ones, they're our family. But in ancient Egypt, and I think we all know where this is going because I love frickin' Egypt, but the cats in general were highly revered and considered sacred. I mean, think of the, what's the statue? I'm blanking.
The Sphinx,
the fair, the Sphinx,
the one
statue.
lane. Yeah,
that one.
Okay.
And then the goddess Bastet, however you say it, Bastet, often depicted with the head of the lioness or domesticated cat, was the goddess of home, fertility, and childbirth. And then her protection was sought by many, and killing a cat, including a black one, was considered a grave offense. So
that's how it should be now.
Yes, exactly. These animals are sacred animals in this point and this time, which I think maybe that's why I like cats a lot. And I also associate with Egypt a lot. So maybe in like my past life, I don't know. I worshipped the cats. And
maybe so.
And then also pirates and sailors had some association and various beliefs with black cats.
Okay.
So some of them believed that black cats on board would bring good luck and protect the ship from storms and other dangers, while others thought that encountering a black cat before a voyage was a sign of impending doom.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either, because like, what's the difference between the cat being on board bringing good luck versus, you just see the black cat before a voyage, and then that brings like doom and gloom.
I've never heard of cats being on board, but it makes sense because rats would get into the food stores and so having a cat on board, I would think would be protection and good luck.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me, but I never really thought about that. I also have an affinity with the pirates. I love pirates. Maybe I was a pirate in my past life too.
Maybe so.
I probably wouldn't have been a very good one.
I mean, it makes sense that they're associated, especially in medieval times, with evil and witchcraft, because just cats, as we all know about how cats behave, just like the women that often were accused of witchcraft, they tended to exhibit a healthy disrespect for authority. They didn't fawn like dogs sometimes do upon the unworthy. And so in church, neither independent women nor independent animals were to be tolerated. So that actually
that makes sense.
Makes 100% sense.
It really does.
Knowing the way that cats act, which also was seen as the way that a independent thinking woman was seen.
Yeah.
And did you know they even went so far as to blame the Black Death, the bubonic plague, on the cats, on black cats. And so, they would search them out and kill them, which is, of course, very ironic because it was rats that were actually spreading the plague, and cats
yeah,
would actually hunt and kill them, which would have prevented the spread of the plague. But no, they had to go and kill the cats, thinking it was the cats.
I hate that. I can't even imagine.
I know.
My heart,
I can't imagine
hurts.
killing any animal.
No,
at all.
I know. It just hurts thinking about like that. I can't, anything animal wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know this sounds so messed up, but a person being hurt is like, yeah, sure. Like I hate that a lot, but an animal, it just hits like a really different side to me.
Yeah, I had thought briefly about going into medicine in that time when I was switching my majors over and over again.
Yeah.
I'd started off wanting to be a veterinarian, but I can't handle animals being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, well, I could do medicine because I don't really feel much for people being hurt. And then I realized that's probably not a very good
You're a sociopath.
Yeah, that's not a very good thing for a doctor to say, so that I probably shouldn't go into medicine.
But I mean, I wouldn't say that you don't care. Obviously you would care. It's just you don't have that like
gut
deep
wrenching
attachment. Yeah, like I would love to be a doctor and see people get better, and I don't want to see them in pain. Like that's not what I'm saying, and that's not what you're saying.
Right.
But at the same time, if someone is in pain, you would be able to handle it a lot better and professionally than you would than an animal. Yeah, children.
Children would be very difficult.
Yeah.
Because I guess like animals, to me, in my mind, they're innocent creatures.
Yeah, they're like little babies. They can't do anything about it,
mm-hmm.
you know?
It wasn't their choice that led them to where they are.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's not the adult's choice either. I'm not saying that either.
No,
wow, this is all coming out wrong.
We're going down. We're spiraling down. We've already lost half of our listeners. Jeez.
Oh, boy. Sorry.
Anyways, let's go back into Japan a little bit. Because a black cat with a single white hair on its body was believed to bring good luck.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh. And so I'm gonna butcher it, okay? Maneki Nico.
That sounds good.
The beckoning cat figurine often seen in businesses. I think we've all seen.
Oh yeah. And
with the little, it's like the cat, and it usually has its like paws up.
Yeah.
Is based on the belief that it is thought to bring in customers and prosperity.
That's interesting. Also, did you know in Japan, single women who own black cats are believed to attract more suitors?
Oh, then I feel like all the black cats would be taken.
I would think that they would be protected there in Japan.
Yeah.
And then also, speaking of Japan, they have cat cafes that have been popping up all over the place.
I've heard about these.
Yes. And there's one devoted entirely to black cats called, here I'm going to butcher this name, but Neko in Himeji, Japan. And you can look at the cats, but you're not allowed to pick them up. And they each wear a different colored bandana. How fun would it be to go there?
I would love that, but I wouldn't be able to help myself. I want to scoop it up.
I know.
And I want to hold it.
Yeah, I wonder what happens. You just get kicked out, or
probably.
I don't know.
Or maybe like you get a warning, like don't touch the cat.
Don't touch the cat.
And I completely understand that you don't want like the germs. You don't, if someone drops the cat and they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in Italy, in 16th century Italy, it was believed that death was imminent if a black cat would come lay on someone's sickbed. But in modern Italy, if you hear a black cat sneeze, it's good luck.
Where are all these things coming from?
I don't know, but this reminds me, I don't know if you ever watched House. I think you used to watch House.
Yeah.
That TV show. Okay, so there was a House episode where a nursing home had this cat that would go and lay on a person, and then that person would die. And so everyone thought that the cat could predict death. And so this person that the cat was laying on was brought to the hospital, and House was trying to figure out what was wrong with the person and whether there was something to be said about this cat being able to predict death. And what it turned out was that the people that are nearing death would often have a fever. Their body would be warm. And so a cat, liking that heat, would curl up on that person. So it didn't really have anything to do with it being a cat or a black cat or predicting the death. It was just, this person's nice and warm. I'm going to snuggle here. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
No, because my cat last night, I had my arm out. I sleep with my pillow and then usually have my arm out. Mm-hmm. And I opened my eyes last night and there's just a cat face in my in my face. And it was so adorable. So
was she awake and staring at you, or was she sleeping? Oh, that's
it was
hilarious.
Her big eyes in my face. Oh man. So
get up, Mama, it's time to feed me.
Yeah, I feel like a cat like laying near a person can't predict a death,
Yeah.
But she just wanted to lay. And so I could
Mm-hmm.
see that with that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But also in Scotland. So I love a good Scotland.
Me too.
A black cat appearing at your doorstep is considered a symbol of prosperity.
Oh, interesting.
So, and also in Scotland or Scottish folklore, dreaming of a black cat is also seen as a positive omen, indicating good fortune.
I like that. And then in England, giving a black cat to a bride on her wedding day is actually supposed to bring her good fortune. And also, this one was interesting. If a black cat is in the audience on opening night of a play, it is believed that the play will have a long and successful run.
Oh,
so I'm like,
cool.
Do they just let black cats loose in the auditorium?
Yeah, I'll just bring my black cat, and like I'll have a black cat and I'll bring him or her in on the like in the audience opening night of a play so that it'll be a successful,
prosperous play. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that to me makes sense.
Yeah, I think so too.
But also in Celtic mythology, cats were often associated with the other world and were believed to have protective and magical qualities. And so this also includes like the black cats, but it's mostly generally just cats in this. Yeah. So it makes me wonder if cats actually do have magical properties.
I feel like they really are. One of the most common thoughts about cats is that they can straddle the worlds or the planes. They can see into the across the veil. They can go back and forth across the veil type thing. And the way they act, I wouldn't be surprised. It would not surprise me if that was scientifically proven that was a thing.
Yeah, because it's like they're considered like magical beings in their own right. Like they are the magical beings and no one else is. Like they look at us as if we're like stupid little peasants in their life.
They do. I really do think that our cat thinks that we're his peasants.
Yeah, but I read something where it was like, next time you're angry at your cat for whatever reason, like, tearing up your furniture or whatever it is, just remember that they don't surpass an IQ of a 2-year-old.
I disagree with that.
I just saw that and I thought it was interesting. But I mean, for my cat, it kind of checks out. Like she's so cute and cuddly. I guess she is smart, but 2-year-olds can be smart.
I mean, that's true. They can. And conniving. Yeah, you're not wrong. I've been there, done that. But I just look at our cat and he'll often pretend not to understand what is being said, but he's not dumb. He is a smart cat.
But
he does have that
average IQ of a 2-year-old, like, I don't know.
But he does have that mentality where he's sitting there and all of a sudden, my husband will pull out the little red light, the laser light, and it's like every shred of intelligent thought goes out of that cat's
the window.
head.
Yeah.
And he's off chasing that little red light. He is adorable.
Yeah.
But that crossing your path superstition that you were talking about. So given that belief in medieval Europe that the devil and witches were capable of shape-shifting into a black cat, it makes sense that they would be afraid of one crossing their paths. Because if they think, oh, that's a witch, why is it near me? Why is it crossing in front of me?
That's true.
And a black cat crossing your path, they might have thought it, even if it wasn't a witch or a demon, it could have been on a mission for a witch because they're the familiars of witches. And they also believed that being the devil himself, no one wants the devil to cross their paths. So, of course, it was considered a bad omen. But in Germany, they went a little bit further. If a black cat crosses in front of you from the right to the left, that's a bad omen. But if the cat crosses from the left to the right, that's a good omen.
Okay, then just turn around, if you need...
Let me step over the cat and turn around, and then it's walking the right way. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Interesting. Like, how do they determine that? I know we've talked about this. Like, how do they determine if you sneeze that way versus that way, it's good luck, brings you good luck versus bad luck? Like, how?
I know. Over time, I guess people must think, oh, well, I sneezed this way and someone died, so that was what caused it because they didn't know science.
I
I don't know, but it
guess.
had to have happened multiple times for them to develop a folklore legend about it.
Yeah, for real.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know.
And then we need to talk about the associations of black cats. And
Yes.
they are thought to straddle the line between the worlds of the known and the unknown, the natural and the supernatural. And
Hmm.
generally, they're associated with curiosity. You know, that saying, the curiosity killed the cat, a wild
Yeah.
spirit,
Yeah.
independence, elegance, intuition, which are also things I think that apply to women and, well, humans in general, but women back in the day when women had those characteristics, they were
Yeah.
considered witches because that was, we wouldn't fit within our little place that everybody wanted us to be in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Black cats are also associated with like the mystery and
Mm.
unknown.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say they're probably in their intuition and psychic ability type of thing. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like you draw upon the black cat's like reputation for like their keen intuition. I feel like they they always know what's going on.
I
They
think
can
so.
always so my cat, she's a scaredy cat. Okay. She's very scared. But every single time we get home, so like let's say I'm home, but my husband's out, right?
Mm-hmm.
She can literally, it's either whether she hears it or whatever it may be, he could be like getting out of the car and she would already know that he's home. But
Oh,
our
how
car is
funny.
like we live in an apartment. So like he's like
Yeah.
all the way outside in a parking lot and we're
Yeah.
inside and she knows. She just knows. And I just know based on how she acts.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be like getting ready and she'll be like waiting by the door.
Oh, how
And so she has like
cute.
that knowledge or maybe psychic sense. I don't know.
It could be psychic.
Uh-huh. But
Interesting.
but cats are also very associated with independence
Mm-hmm.
and self-reliance, which is very true.
Yes.
So black cats, or just cats in general, are known for their independence. When you're working on personal growth or empowerment, you can invoke in the spirit of the black cat to like boost your self-confidence, your self-reliance, your assertiveness,
Probably
or
your
just
cunning abilities.
or your if you need to be more independent. Like I'm very reliant on my husband because I have anxiety, and so I don't like going to the grocery store without my husband, or I don't like driving, so I make him drive everywhere.
Yeah,
and
same.
So if you're wanting to maybe have a little bit more confidence or independence, like I should be able to go to the grocery store by myself without having this anxiety feeling or whatever it may be. You can use like black cats or cats in general in your craft somehow.
Yeah, those associations in your
invoke
craft.
any idea or symbolism of what a black cat can stand for. I feel like they're also very intertwined with transformation and transition. Throughout many of the cultures that we talked about, that's where black cats are believed to have like their symbolism of transformation. They have those aspects about them.
That makes me think of the Harry Potter movies where the witch that was teaching transfiguration, she morphed into a cat. Remember when Harry and Ron were late to class?
Yes, Professor
and they were like,
McGonagall.
"Oh, thank God she's not here," and that she then changed from the black cat to herself.
Professor McGonagall, yeah.
McGonagall,
but she wasn't a black cat.
It.
She wasn't a black cat.
Wasn't she?
Mm-mm.
I don't remember.
She was like a tabby. She was darker. It was like a dark, like brown and black in her, but no.
I'll have to watch those movies. I haven't watched them in forever, and they're so good.
I recently just rewatched them, so that's why I'm more know. I had to get my husband on them. He had never seen them before.
Oh, was he like enamored of them?
He was very interested. He watched the first one. He said, okay, pretty good, because he can't sit down for too long to watch a long movie like that. So he's like, okay, that's pretty good. Like we watched them over like a span of like 7 days. Like we didn't sit down and watch all of them.
Well, it's hard to watch them all at one time.
It really is. And he's like, okay, let's watch the second one. He was like, okay, watch the second one, watch the third one. I don't know when. I think it's Half-Blood Prince when Dumbledore dies. Sorry, there's a spoiler if you guys haven't.
Oh, surely everybody knows.
when Dumbledore dies, and he was like, "What? Is he coming back?" And I was like, "No." And so I think that like ruined him on that day that we were watching that episode. He was like starstruck.
He couldn't get over it.
He couldn't. And he couldn't believe that Snape had done that to him, blah, 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 you know, the whole thing. And then when we got to the very last episode, when you learn about the truth of Snape and all of that, he was like, no, like that's awful. Like, why didn't, you know, it's like, so he really liked it.
Gives me goosebumps just talking about it. I love those movies and the books, obviously.
And the books, but I hadn't seen them in a while. And I think the last time I had seen them was like, when I was younger, and when maybe like the last movie had come out, and I hadn't watched the last movies really, maybe once or twice, you know, not like how I had the first couple where I could watch them over and over.
Yeah.
The last ones, we didn't watch them over and over and over again like that. And so watching it from beginning to end like that again as an adult now and actually being able to understand and process what's going on, I was like, whoa, that's much deeper than what I remember.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I know there's a lot more detail in the books where I haven't read the books. I haven't read the end books. I've only read the first 2 or 3, I think.
I loved the books. And I was so pleased with how they made the movies, because
the movies are amazing.
It's so hard to translate books into movies, like Stephen King books. It's very rare that they can make a good Stephen King movie. It's just impossible to translate that. And they did a great, great job with the Harry Potter books, even though they left out substantial things.
They did leave out a lot of stuff.
It was still very well done.
They did a great job.
Very well written. The effects were awesome.
Amazing. So, especially given the times. How are we on this topic? Okay.
I don't know. We got way off topic of black cats.
I do love a good Harry Potter, but yes. Cats can also be associated with spiritual insight, you know, because how you said they kind of like teeter on the line between worlds. So they can have that spiritual insight, but they also can provide balance and dualities where like the color of them. And I want to say we're talking about black cats, but then I'm also don't want to leave out any of the other cats.
Yeah.
But the black cat's coat specifically, their color represents the balance of light and dark, where it's day and night. I thought that was really cool because that just, I mean, there's that balance, but there's balance, and then there's dualities where you can have both at the same time.
Yeah, so you might want to use the imagery of a black cat or the associations if you're needing balance in your life.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then they're also, depending on your culture and whatever you believe, they can bring associations of luck and manifestation. Now I know a lot of people probably think of them as bad luck, but I wouldn't associate them with bad luck at all.
Right.
They can definitely bring luck and prosperity. I feel like anything can be a symbol for anything if you believe it's for that, you know?
Well, and I think any cat, you know, they walk into a room like, peasant, you're lucky to have me.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody who has a cat knows that that's what they do.
Yeah.
So.
And then you can also use them for warding. So black cats have been associated with protection against negative energies and evil spirits as well. So they also associate with warding.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about what, like the things that you just listed.
We just talked about associations.
How do we specifically incorporate that into witchcraft? How do you use black cat magic? And I would say the first thing would be protection and banishment. So you would want to use black cat figurines or images. You can put little black cat statues or pictures or symbols in your living area, especially near entrances or maybe windows. And that then might create a protective barrier that prevents negative energy from coming into your home. You can use black cats in your visualization. Wow.
Visualization.
Okay. 2 different kinds of vodka mixed together might not be the smartest way to go before we podcast. Very tasty. But so we always talk about visualization. Wow. And meditation and that kind of thing. And if you want to visualize a powerful black cat forming a protective shield around you, that's one way to incorporate the black cat magic. Imagine this shield repelling any negative energy or harmful intentions directed towards you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I could see that. When I thought of incorporating black cats into witchcraft, I really thought about black cat sigils. For some reason. I really like
that.
I mean, I've been experimenting with sigils. I know we've talked about sigils in the past and how to create your own, but I've never really done it myself. And so I've been wanting to work with that a little bit more. And so with black cat, I was like, oh, you're gonna do a sigil. I like, if anything, if you're like, oh, how can I do this in witchcraft? You're like, sigil. That's where I'm at right now. Sure. I feel like a sigil is a good thing.
Very clever.
You want to create your sigil, and that combines cat black. Woo! Black cat imagery with like protective symbols. You can charge the sigil with your intentions to banish negativity. I'm struggling.
We're both struggling.
And enhance your personal protection. So you can draw this sigil on talismans, objects, or even visualize it while you're meditating. So this could be a physical like drawing of a cat, you know, or it could be something that represents a cat, or what oh gosh, my brain's not working. What you think of and what you visualize when you think of a black cat sigil. You can also do a black cat ritual bath. So now I think for cats, this is a nightmare.
I was going to say, don't put your black cat in the bathtub when you're naked in the bathtub with you, because
the claws are blazing.
The claws will come out.
But incorporate maybe the symbolism and kind of associations that we talked about into a ritual bath. So add herbs and essential oils associated with protection, or if you want to bring luck and manifestation, or anything that we talked about, balance, whatever it may be. And so that could be sage, you know, for protection. It could be luck, like a 4-leaf clover, like something like that, whatever's associated, and visualize it, the cleansing energies of a black cat, and remove negativity as you soak. So I feel like anything that we talk about black cat wise, unless if it's like a sigil that you put into like a candle and you burn the candle with your black cat sigil on it, or whatever it may be, it's a lot of just visualization of what a black cat symbolizes in the symbolization. Your stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I must say that when I take baths, the cat is extremely curious. Very curious.
It's on the corner, dips the tail in it.
Yes. So I could see, you know, having the black cat add something if he or she is in there with you, that might help you.
Yeah, if you have a black cat. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's funny. I think they stare at you in the bath because they're like, why in the world would you do that?
What is wrong with you, human?
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
Is she going to melt? If she melts, will she become small enough that I could eat her?
Yeah, if she dies in there, how can I get in there and eat her? Yeah, for real. But like I was saying on the candle thing, where you can have, you can even make like a black cat candle spell where you can light a black candle, you know, for your black cat, and carve a protective symbol, whether you make it yourself, whether it's like a silhouette of the black cat, your sigil. And then you can burn this candle, and it could be around your black cat ritual bath, or it could be a focusing on that burning candle itself, where you focus on banishing negative energy or influences or whatever it may be that you need.
Yeah, you could also use a crystal grid with the black cat symbol in your magic. You create a crystal grid using protective crystals like black tourmaline, obsidian, or hematite, and you can place maybe a black cat figurine or image in the center of your grid to amplify the protective energies. And did you know, speaking of the protection qualities of a black cat, in the early 2000s, researchers at the National Institutes of Health discovered that the gene that causes the cats to have the black coats, the one that is a dominant gene, also possesses attributes that support the immune system in cats, and they're thinking maybe in humans. So they're doing more research on that particular gene to see what it can do to help with our immune systems. And the cats have it naturally because it's in their genes.
Oh, but then would that mean that they're testing on cats?
Probably. But I
No,
mean, I
I
think you
don't
can,
like
can't you
that.
get genes just from blood draws? You don't have to kill them or anything.
No, but I don't want to even think
Have them in
about anything
cages
like
and
that.
having them poked
Yeah.
with needles.
And they don't have a loving family and they're not
Yeah,
cuddled at night.
I
No.
know. They can't come stare at you eerily in your bed.
Or you put down something on the table and they just
They
go,
knock it off.
yeah.
You can do black cat mojo bags for
Oh,
banishing.
okay.
Craft a mojo bag that contains protective herbs and crystals and maybe a black cat charm or a black cat picture,
Mm-hmm.
or even a black cat ring, anything with
Yeah, I
black
feel
cat
like
imagery.
yeah, anything like I like your charm thing because if you do
Mm-hmm.
like if you take a black cat charm and you wrap it around your candle, if you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
carve it
Oh, good
into your candle,
idea. Good
I feel like
idea.
there's a lot of things that we can do here, you
I
know?
mean, and there's jewelry with cats. There's earrings and
Yeah, yeah.
necklaces and all of that with cats on
Tattoos,
them. You know,
like stickers, like whatever it may
I love the
be.
tattoo idea, honestly. But like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're feeling negativity all around you, throw on a necklace with a cat charm on it and wear it to protect
Yeah,
yourself from
yeah,
the negative influences. You can carry your mojo bag with you to do the same thing. Where like, some people don't want to outwardly show their witchiness because of whatever
yeah.
jobs they have or whatever. So if you don't
Mm-hmm.
really want to wear a witchy cat necklace or earrings that people can see, you can do this mojo bag and carry it around in your pocket or keep it in your purse, or put it on your desk at work because no one will know what the heck it is. Put it in a drawer
Yeah,
at work,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, on that, like the carrying it with you, you could do black cat shield visualization.
Oh, yeah.
So since they do represent, protective qualities, you can in meditation visualize a powerful black cat forming a protective shield around you.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine the shield repelling any negative energy and intentions, and you can use this black cat as a, strong, because you have to focus on something while you're visualizing, so something strong, something powerful to
Mm-hmm.
put that bubble around you in a sense.
Yeah, I wonder if like a black panther, does that carry the same associations as a domesticated black cat? I
I
just feel
don't
like it
know.
does, but more,
More.
more black cat energy.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really think about it like that because I know that we like there's tigers and lions and
Mm-hmm.
panthers and cheetahs and
But black
jaguars.
panthers are a black cat thing.
Yeah, they're a black cat, so I don't know.
Oh, you guys, I just heard from our friend that they're officially married right now. That is so
Woohoo!
awesome.
That's adorable. I love it.
Me too. That's so great. Aw.
That's adorable. I love it. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
Back to
okay.
black
Sorry.
cats.
Woo,
Sorry. I
black
just
cats.
had to
Woo.
pass that on because I knew Ren would want to know.
Uh-huh. So you can also use verbal affirmations using black cats. So you can recite affirmations that harness the symbolism of a black cat for protection, banishing, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, you can say, quote, like the black cat, I am empowered to banish negativity and protect my space. End
Oh,
quote.
I love that because
So
you
you
could
can,
also,
yeah.
like a black cat, I can cross the veil, which would help you in
Yep.
communication with your
Yes.
ancestors. I love
Like
that
a
idea.
black cat, I have the confidence to walk into the room and run the show, type
And
of
to go
vibe.
grocery shopping without my husband.
And like a black cat, I'm going to go grocery shopping.
Because they go grocery shopping all the
Yes. Yeah.
time.
If a cat went grocery shopping, all they would come home with is like wet food, like the canned wet food, but
That and
not
the
the
fish
cheap kind, the
from the fish
expensive kind. Yes,
section.
all of the fish would be bought out. But
Yeah, so you were talking about spell work with
yes.
black cat imagery, and you talked about doing sigils, but that's not all. You can use tarot cards. There are actual cat tarot decks out there.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
I know. And so you could go through the tarot deck and pick out that particular card that speaks to you, because the cat spells, they're all cats, and some of them are black and some of them aren't. But,
Mm-hmm.
find the one that works with what you're trying to cast, what your spell is
Mm-hmm.
that you're trying to do, and use it in your spell space. You can actually use these tarot cards, or actually altar cards. I download altar cards all the time off of Etsy, when I
Mm-hmm.
want a
Mm-hmm.
fresh a fresh altar and I can't think of anything or I can't find anything, I'll go to Etsy and I'll download altar cards and put those on my altar. So look for cat altar cards that speak to you.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And as we've been talking about black cats, did you know they're not a breed. There is no breed called black cat. It's just their fur color.
Yeah.
There is one feline breed, the Bombay, that was specifically bred to only have solid black fur, along with black foot pads. So even their little paws, the little beans on their toes are black, and their whiskers are black.
Oh,
isn't that crazy?
That's cool.
And not every dark colored cat that you might think is a black cat is a solid black cat. The gene for the black fur has the power to repress the gene for the tabby coat pattern, the mottled tabby pattern, but it doesn't delete it. So in cats that only have one black fur gene rather than the two black fur genes, you can see the tabby pattern under there, especially when they are like laying in the sun like they like to do. You might see that pattern. And they're actually called undercover tabbies because they have those little subtle striped spots and swirls. And when you can see it when you look at them in certain lighting. So I thought that was interesting.
I do like that, undercover tabbies. Oh man. I mean, what else? I mean, there's just so much with the cats that you can do,
Yeah.
And I mean, I love the tarot card ideas and the altar cards. Like, I think that's a fantastic way because, I mean, I'm sitting here. I don't have a black cat, first of all, but let's say I want to harness the black cat energy, How? I don't have one. Like, what am I supposed to do? But I love the tarot cards. I love the altar cards because that's something physical. I'm a very hands-on person.
Hands-on, yeah.
And I mean, we've given plenty of you can visualize this bubble with a cat or you can visualize, but I am a very hands-on person, and so the tarot cards and altar cards are perfect alternative to not having a black cat.
There's some amazing art out there. I mean, you don't even have to stick to altar cards or tarot cards. Go buy art. You can do digital downloads of,
and you can
4x6.
Just get like a digital download. At home. Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, also like there's like it's like this thing with I guess you could say it's like a small like little ritual, whatever spell, whatever it may be, but salt and black cat hair. Now, where are you going to get the cat hair? I don't like this one as much.
Well, have you not?
If you have like a cat, unless if it's your cat.
I was going to say, my cat sheds like a mother.
But let's say you don't have a cat, like a black cat, then like you can't. I wouldn't say I would partake in this one since I don't have a cat with black fur. So, but this one is you mix salt with a small amount of black cat hair. If you have a black cat companion, their shedded hair is perfect. And then you sprinkle this mixture around the perimeter of your living space to create a protective boundary. So that's a way that you can physically, while having a black cat, do that. I feel like there's multiple levels to this. We're talking about if you don't have a black cat and you want to use black cat imagery, then you can visualize it. Or you can use tarot cards, whatever it may be. You can use pictures, all of that. And then if you have a black cat, don't harm your cat.
I mean, just brushing them, which they
steal their
tend to
hair.
love.
Don't shave your cat,
Oh, the poor cat.
I mean, I know there's a lot of funny videos with shaved cats, but
my black cat, well, our black, he thinks I'm his. He's not mine, obviously.
Yes,
but,
for real.
He lays in between my monitor and my keyboard, and I always have little tufts of black hair all over my desk. So I could very well come up with black cat hair to do this salt and black cat hair thing. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. So you could definitely, you can definitely do that. Even though he's not solid black, you can still use that. And I feel like the energy around your house would be spicy after that. He is a spicy, sassy boy.
And he growls at people that come to the front door, the little poor little delivery boys. because right now it's cool enough to have the windows open. So we've got the windows open, and he'll hear the delivery truck before I even know it's coming. And he'll start growling, and he will spring up to that window and growl as the delivery dude comes and brings our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I went on to Reddit and found some interesting things going with this cat hair idea.
Okay.
And this is what one person said. She said, I collect shed whiskers for the use with synergistic spell work, luck mainly. Though I do have an altar dedicated to my cats where I keep small things like fur photos and small toys. When my kitties shed their claws on their scratching post, I collect them in a small little jar and save them for protection spells. She says, I joke that they are organically sourced claws from free-range cats, but it's really just me picking them up off the hardwood floor when I sweep.
I like that.
And she said, I have seen some people collect kitty and dog fur and then spin it into yarn. And that's a whole new level of art magic.
Oh,
work,
yeah.
Which
yeah,
would be
that's true.
super interesting to get into. And then I like to make car mirror charms that hang off the mirror. I can see putting weaving cat hair into a mirror charm, which I think would be interesting.
I mean, I've seen not links, but on TikTok. I want to try to sound like, oh, I see things on the platforms other than TikTok. No, I see everything on TikTok. So I've seen this thing where you collect your animal's fur and you can send it in and they'll make it into like a sweater or a hat for you or whatever it may be. Usually it's dog fur because the dogs shed, like a lot of dogs shed like massive amounts. But I mean, cats, like fluffy cats. My cat's not fluffy.
Sheds a lot.
Oh, my cat, she sheds, but it's not like she's not a fluffy cat. She's like a short-haired tabby. And so it's not anything that I think would be able to be collectible like that.
Our cat has a ritual where the first thing in the morning, my husband, he gets up before I do, and he has to go into the kitchen and he feeds the cat a little bit. The cat's got urinary issues, so we have him on a special food, but as a treat every morning, he gets a little teaspoon of wet cat food. And while he's eating the wet cat food, he gets brushed, and the brush is full of black cat hair. But that's his ritual, and he loves it. Absolutely.
That's a weird cat. My cat's not like being brushed.
But also ancestral magic, like we were talking about before. If you do have a connection to your ancestral practices, if that's what you like to do, then you can invoke the protective qualities of black cats through these rituals or offerings to your ancestors. And they can act as intermediaries to bring forth the cat's energy for protection. And because they're said to walk through both worlds, using cats in your spell would be a great way to strengthen that connection to your ancestors. I feel like messages might be carried back and forth a lot easier if you use black cat magic in your ancestry work.
I like that. I do. See, I feel like anything can be incorporated into witchcraft in any way.
I think so too. It's all individual. That's why I love witchcraft so much.
It's so versatile.
It really is.
I want to say black cats you can also use them in divination again, including the black ones, like all cats, but including black cats, because their behavior is such a way that they move or react to certain situations. You can use these reactions to interpret messages or omens or anything from the spiritual realm, which I think is actually very intuitive. I think cats are very intuitive. So
too, they see things that we don't see. So if they are meowing up at what we think is a blank corner.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeet the cat out of the house. Get rid of everything.
Get everybody out of the house. But it could be a sign or a warning even. Like if they go to a particular place in your home and are agitated by it, it could be that you have cockroaches, or it could be an omen that there's something not right here, and you might want to use salt to cleanse or do some kind of
that's very true
burning thing where you burn protective herbs to protect your house. Maybe they're trying to tell you there's a portal there, or a portal is forming there, and you need to protect your home.
That's very true. My cat, I know we're just talking, this is basically a podcast about our cats at this point. Jeez. But my cat, we leave our back door open a lot. because I like to have the fresh air and everything come in. And so that brings in some bugs. And so I'll always know if we have a bug in the house because she like goes up and like she'll be staring intensely and she'll do her little chitter. She'll burp, 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 like
ours does that too. Like, he chitters too.
How do you do it? Like a you know, like she'll like like talking, like she's talking.
Yeah.
And I'll always know, but I'm always like, I don't see the bug at first. And I'm like, there's something in my house. There's a demon, there's something. And it always ends up being a bug, which is good.
Yeah, for sure. No ghosts yet.
Yeah. Don't say yet. Never. But black cats can also be in magic, can be used for dream interpretations as well. In dream interpretations. So if you see a black cat in your dreams, it could be interpreted in whatever way you want to take it. Culturally, there's always something. It's bad luck or it's good luck, whatever it may be, whatever it means to you. You know,
I mean, and it might be
resonates with you
in your particular time. Curiosity could be the symbolism it's trying to tell you that you need to explore this thing that's popped up in your life that you're hesitant to explore. Maybe that's trying to tell you, yes, go down that path. You know, so yeah, definitely look. If you dream about black cats, then think about why and what it could mean.
Yeah. And another way to maybe use black cats is to take paw prints, like a stamp or something. Because like using their fur, sure, that's direct and everything. I mean, using black cat, like, I don't know, there's a fine line between like consent with like taking your cat's fur and blood and blah. Like, I don't want to get into that stuff because I don't condone anything, like any harm on animals. But it could be something as simple as like a stamp. And I will say I found this recipe on TikTok a long time ago, like back in like 2019, 2020, maybe it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020.
When we were all stuck at home.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like Christmas time. And I had taken a paw print of my other dog, my past dog. And it was out of just household ingredients. Like you got flour out from your pantry and you put a little bit of water and something else in it to make it like a dough. And then you pressed it and then
What did she think of that?
Oh, she hated it, obviously. But then you bake it and it's like solidified and then you color it in with whatever color you have. So I used a Sharpie, you know, to color in her like little paw print. It was really cute. And I still have it. Like, and I put it's an ornament for our Christmas tree.
Aww.
But this is what I think about when it says stamp. You can easily, in your house, you probably have ingredients to make this. You stamp the paw and then you can bake it. And then obviously you can add colored dye to your dough or whatever to have whatever color you want. You bake it. You can color in the paw with whatever color you want to, whatever you need that color for.
With my cat, all I have to do, so I am an artist, all I have to do is get out my paints and my canvas and start trying to paint, and I will have instantly cat paw prints all over the house because he walks
See, you're
over
already
my
one
stuff.
step ahead. You don't need to do all that extra stuff.
Yeah, just leave out your paints and you will definitely have paw prints in no time. I saw a meme on Facebook it was a frying pan with, you know, how the grease not dries, but how it congeals the grease in
like solidifies a little.
And it had this long empty space and a paw print. And the meme was like, not hard to guess where the sausage went.
That's funny. I like that.
But it was very cute.
Yeah.
Did you know that feline eye color, obviously there's all kinds of different colors of eyes in cats, but the vast majority of black cats have yellow or golden eyes.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah.
My tuxedo cat has green eyes. He does not have yellow, but he's not
cat,
full.
She has like yellowish.
I mean, and he's not a full black cat either. He's the tuxedo. But the vast majority of cats that are all black have yellow or golden eyes. And then cool. Going back to our theme that we always seem to touch on these days, shadow work.
Oh, yeah.
If you are seeing cats to the point where it might be a sign, then maybe it is time to look inside yourself and see what needs to be addressed. Be mindful of excessive or extreme independence with a cat. They can be very stubborn, too quick to make assumptions, to come to conclusions. So look at that within yourself. There could be a lack of empathy or consideration for others when you see black cats that much. This animal tends to distance itself from situations and people and experiences. Curiosity can get the better of them, while they may use their intelligence to control, dominate, or manipulate others. Also, aloofness, that's another shadow trait. So if you're seeing all of these signs that seem to be leading to, okay, the universe is trying to tell me something, look inside yourself for all of these things. See if maybe this cat symbol is trying to get you to delve into these attributes within yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's all I have got.
Yeah, that's all I have too.
Okay. Do you have the outro as I make the person with no throat?
With no voice to do the outro? Okay, I can try.
Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you so much for listening. I was going to say watching. That's not right. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to find more, you can find us at www.c3witchypodcast.com. There you will find links to all of our social media. That's YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, which is now X, whatever it may be. You can also find links to our merch, which at this time of our episode coming out, you only have like a couple of days left to get our merch, and then you won't be able to get our merch ever again for like these styles, basically. For our merch, you can find that at www.c3witchypodcastmerch.com. That's on our normal website. And then you can also find descriptions on our Buzzsprout and our Patreon. So we have I'm really messing this up. We have 2 subscription-based platforms. If you want to find information, you can also find that out at our website.
Yeah, I did want to say I just did an ad on Facebook advertising our After Dark series that we have, and it is exclusively for patrons and subscribers via Buzzsprout. So it is something you have to pay for. I think we're up to episode 19 or 20 now. And we had Diana who talked to us on Facebook and said, where can I listen to this? And so I wanted to make sure she already follows our regular episodes on Spotify, and she wanted to know how to get to the After Dark episodes. So I do want to make sure that people know you can go to our Patreon at www.patreon.com. That's patreon.com/C3 Witchy Podcast. Or like Ren said, you can go to our website, and there are links to both the Patreon and the Buzzsprout sites where you can then, support us, which we would definitely appreciate. On the Patreon site, you get a whole bunch of extra goodies in addition to the After Dark series. You get
we've started doing on our newsletter, a Patreon only section of our newsletter.
And Ren does these lovely guided meditations that are just fantastic. A lot of our patrons love those. So you get all of that if you become a sponsor of us, which we would love so much. Please come support us. It isn't easy to do this podcast and to keep on track. It takes money, and right now Ren's unemployed, and so it's hard, and we come out of pocket because we love doing this so much. It's fascinating to us. We love you guys. Our husbands are both very supportive. So definitely Diana, check us out on our Patreon or Buzzsprout. And I think you'll enjoy all the extra goodies that you get from us, and you have a lot more contact with us because we will respond to you through those avenues. What else do we have to say?
I think that's
it. Well, we'll be back.
And
until then, stay witchy.
Woo.